Hey guys, Wedding Pros here. We're still at WPPI and I'm here at the Sigma booth to check out some awesome new lenses and then a full frame mirrorless camera that I think is going to be really interesting to some of you guys. So what do we got here?
So I got some new lenses here, kind of interesting for this. These are for the Sony E-mount system and the L-mount system. So maybe you're a A7 III shooter, A7S shooter, got some great new glass, or maybe you shoot like a Panasonic S1H. These will all work with it. Got a beautiful new 2470, simply stunning, that kind of versatile all-around lens you can use to, shoot, documentary style for your stuff. Lightweight, good to focus, incredibly reasonable in price compared to offerings out there.
So this is 2.8.
Yes, it's 2.8 throughout the aperture. It does have like a little bit telescoping front, so one negative there is you're going to throw it on a gimbal. You might unbalance yourself if you do that, but otherwise you're looking great on that. So
I can attest, like I'm holding this thing, and in those of you that have used Sigma lenses, any of their art stuff, I mean, the build quality is solid. It feels great.
Yeah. Yep. It's fully weather sealed. So I don't know. Maybe you're shooting a wedding in the rain. You'll be fine. So hopefully you don't have to do that. It sounds horrible, but
it's not the best. But if you have Sigma, you're okay. So what else we got?
So kind of got two newer lenses for us. This is a 35-1.2. If you need to shoot a 1.2, it's an amazingly sharp lens. Really the only autofocus lens for the Sony system that will be at a 1.2.
This is legit. And it's got a cool button on it, which I can attest to. If you're those of you that like buttons, this is the lens for you.
It does, but you know what? I got buttons everywhere. And the other great one I think is, between these two here, you can really shoot a ton of stuff. This is a 14 to 24 2.8, so you're getting those wide-angle sweeping shots. Maybe you're doing a pull-in to a church or something. You need to get that whole thing in there. So the 14 millimeter is great. Build quality again is excellent. Fully weather sealed. So this is kind of like the newest lenses we got right now, but if you want to, I need you to attest to the build.
I would say this is gimbal approved.
Definitely.
Gimbal approved. This is, and honestly, like every time I look at the Sigma stuff, I'm always like, it looks like it was invented like by a cyborg in the future, and that's the best compliment I can give you.
Okay.
So let's talk about this weird little camera, because first of all, like I am so into how this thing looks. Like it's awesome looking. If you don't know about the FP, we're going to learn about it now, but I can tell you this is a really cool camera and it's going to be really interesting, especially if you're like a Blackmagic video shooter, but of course it's for other people as well.
So this little guy right here, the best thing to say is just open it up and look at that glorious full frame sensor in my small hand. So the idea of this camera is to be incredibly modular. So we have quarter 20 points here. We can build this camera out as much as you want. I do have it built up over here in a larger format with the video. We got it rigged up with a cinema lens. Or I can keep it super small, lightweight, and running gun style.
Look at all these ports. It's like, it's got so much stuff going on the side of there.
There's a lot of thought has gone into the build on this, just the industrial style to make it so that we're not pigeonholing into like a certain style. If you like to build your camera in a certain way, here's a little box, build it out. It's not a red, but it's kind of like that modular design that kind of red took off with. So
if you're a cinema shooter, like you're very used to and comfortable building out your rigs, if you've ever moved into the Blackmagic 4Ks, the Blackmagic 6Ks, you're going to buy the camera and then you're going to rig it out. And that's just how it is. And I think this is another option for you if you're already interested in that style of shooting and you really want that raw file format. So how much does this cost?
It's $18.99, body only, 22 with a 45 millimeter lens. And I've been deep slow selling the big spec. You mentioned it. It'll do a 12-bit raw file, full frame. There's nothing at that price point that will pull a full frame file. It's not cropping on the sensor. We're not going down to APS-C to get that file. We're not going down to micro four thirds out of the full frame. It's reading that full frame to give you, that 12-bit RAW file to allow you to really edit your files and make them your own, to set you apart from other people.
That's super exciting. This is let's check it out rigged out really quick. This is what it looks like when you put it together. Obviously you can see like we got this beautiful Sigma Cine glass on it, and it's hooked up to the Ninja. I mean, this is a very common cinema rig, and it's really built around Sigma right now. I think this is a really exciting camera, and it really meets a need in the market, especially for those of you that are like, I want that full frame look. You can get it.
Yeah, most definitely. The full frame and the file is just simply beautiful. You know, you can rig it out as big as you want, keep it small. It's just a very, very versatile camera. So, oh, and by the way, it still takes pictures.
It still takes pictures. Wow. And all of that and more. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. We loved it, and I love your stuff, and we can't wait for everybody to start getting this in their hand and trying it out.
Thank you, Jason. Have a great day.